Here is something that will bother you for the rest of the day. There are two women who live in the same city, drive on the same roads, shop at some of the same stores. One earns $72,000 a year. The other earns $68,000. The one who earns less has a net worth 4 times higher. Their names are Simone and Claire. Simone is not irresponsible. She works hard, pays her bills on time, and genuinely believes she is doing the right things with money. She has a decent job, a nice apartment, and a life that looks completely respectable from the outside. Claire is not a financial genius. She did not get a windfall, inherit money, or discover some secret investment strategy that most people miss. The difference between them is not income. It is 12 spending decisions, 12 things that most middle-class households buy without questioning, without calculating, and without realizing how much they are actually costing them over time. The wealthy stopped buying most of these years ago, not because they could not afford them, but because they understood the real cost. Here are all 12. Number 1, new cars. Simone drives a new car she leases for $510 per month. She upgrades every 3 years. Claire drives a 4-year-old car she bought outright for $14,000. A new car loses between 15 and 25% of its value the moment it leaves the dealership. By year 3, it has lost close to 50%. Simone is paying $510 per month to accelerate that loss. Claire invests the equivalent of that $510 each month. Over 10 years at 8%, that becomes over $93,000. The wealthy do not stop driving cars. They stop treating cars as status investments. A car is a transportation tool. Every dollar above the minimum needed to get you reliably from one place to another is a dollar you paid to impress someone who stopped looking the moment you passed. Number 2, brand new furniture for every life stage. Simone has furnished her apartment 3 times in 8 years. A new place, a relationship change, a design refresh. Each full furnishing cost her between $8,000 and $14,000. Claire owns furniture that is 8 years old. It is good quality, well-maintained, and still entirely functional. The money she did not spend on furniture refreshes has been sitting in her investment account growing. The middle class treats furniture as fashion. The wealthy treat it as infrastructure. You buy quality once, maintain it well, and replace only when something genuinely fails. Number 3, extended warranties on everything. Simone buys the extended warranty on every significant purchase. Her television, her laptop, her appliances. Extended warranties are one of the highest margin products retailers sell. The math consistently favors the retailer. Most people never use them. Claire keeps a small self-insurance fund, a dedicated savings account with $1,500 specifically for unexpected item failures. She has used it twice in 6 years. This is the difference between paying a company to take a risk that rarely materializes versus paying yourself to cover the risk when it does. Number 4, premium cable and streaming stacks. Simone pays for cable, 4 streaming platforms, 2 premium music services, and a cloud storage upgrade. Her monthly digital entertainment bill is $347. Claire pays for 2 streaming services that rotate based on what she actually watches. Her monthly entertainment bill is $28. The gap is $319 per month. Over 10 years invested at 8%, that gap is worth over $58,000. The wealthy are not anti-entertainment. They are anti-subscription creep. Every recurring charge that continues by default, rather than by active decision, is a quiet tax on your future. Number 5, brand name groceries and convenience foods. Simone spends approximately $680 per month on groceries. Name brands, convenience items, prepackaged meals, frequent small top-up shops that add up faster than the weekly shop. Claire spends $290 per month. She plans meals, shops once, buys store brands on commodities, and cooks most evenings. The $390 monthly difference invested over 20 years at 8% is approximately $231,000. That number is not about being cheap. It is about understanding that marketing on food packaging is one of the most expensive things you can choose to fund with your own money. Number 6. Buying on emotion, returning at inconvenience. Simone makes frequent impulse purchases. Clothes she rarely wears, gadgets she uses twice, decor that felt right in the moment. She estimates this costs her around $200 to $250 per month on average. Claire uses a 48-hour rule for any non-essential purchase over $30. If she still wants it after 48 hours, she buys it. The majority of the time, she does not. Emotional spending is not a character flaw. It is a design flaw. Retail environments, apps, and websites are engineered to trigger immediate purchasing decisions before the emotional state that created the desire has time to pass. The 48-hour rule is a system, not a sacrifice. Number 7. Lottery tickets and gambling as financial strategy. Simone spends around $80 per month on lottery tickets. She does not think of it as a financial strategy. She thinks of it as hope, as the possibility of a different life. The expected return on a lottery ticket is approximately 47 cents on the dollar. No investment consistently loses that much that reliably. Claire puts $80 per month into an index fund. Over 30 years at 8% that becomes over $120,000. The lottery is not evil, but it is worth understanding what you are actually purchasing. You are not buying a chance at wealth. You are buying a fantasy of wealth, and fantasies are expensive when purchased monthly for 30 years. Number 8. Paying full price as a default. Simone pays the listed price for almost everything. She does not negotiate, does not wait for sales cycles, does not price match or compare. Claire negotiates her internet bill every 12 months. She buys seasonal items at the end of their season. She waits for predictable sale periods on large purchases. She estimates she saves between $1,800 and $2,400 per year through these habits alone. That is money she did not work a single additional hour to save. She simply stopped accepting the default price as the only price. The middle class treats listed prices as fixed. The wealthy treat them as opening positions. Number 9. Lifestyle debt. Simone carries $8,400 in credit card debt at an average interest rate of 22%. She pays the minimum each month, which means she is paying over $150 per month in interest alone, for things she already owns and may no longer use. Claire has not carried consumer debt in 7 years. She uses a credit card for the rewards and pays the full balance monthly. The $150 in monthly interest Simone pays is money she earns, sends to a lender, and receives nothing in return. Over 10 years, that is $18,000 in interest transferred to a financial institution. Consumer debt does not feel like an expense. It feels like a solved problem. The problem is already solved. Now you are just paying for the solution, indefinitely, at 22%. Number 10. Keeping up with social spending standards. Simone's social life costs her approximately $600 per month. Dinners she does not particularly want, events she attends to be present, rounds she buys, celebrations at restaurants where the bill per person is never what she expected. The majority of this spending is not chosen. It is defaulted to, because saying no feels socially costly even when saying yes is financially costly. Claire has built a social life she genuinely enjoys that costs her around $180 per month. She is selective. She declines what does not interest her without excessive explanation. She hosts at home instead of defaulting to restaurants. The wealthy stopped letting their social calendars set their financial commitments. They decide what they genuinely value and fund that. They let everything else go without guilt. Number 11. Financial advice from unqualified sources. Simone gets financial advice from friends, family, trending social media content, and the occasional television segment. She has made investment decisions based on tips from people who do not have meaningful investing experience. Claire spent $1,800 on a one-time financial planning consultation with a fee-only fiduciary advisor in 2019. The recommendations from that session restructured her retirement accounts and her tax strategy. She estimates that consultation has saved or earned her over $40,000 since. Free financial advice tends to cost significantly more in the long run than paid advice from qualified people with no commission incentive. The wealthy do not outsource their financial thinking to sources that have nothing at stake in their outcome. Number 12, time, and the cost of spending it without accounting for it. This is the most expensive item on the list and the least visible. Simone treats her free time as something to fill with consumption. Shopping that is not directed at need. Browsing that converts to purchasing. Entertainment that requires spending to access. Claire treats her free time as a resource. She uses it to develop skills that increase her earning capacity. She uses it to maintain systems that reduce her costs. She uses it for experiences that do not require ongoing spending. Time spent without intention becomes money spent without intention, because the two are linked more directly than most people realize. You trade time for money at work. You then trade money for time filling at home. The cycle makes both scarcer without making either more valuable. Add up the spending differences between Simone and Claire across all 12 categories. The monthly gap is approximately $1,980. That is the difference between their financial outcomes on almost identical incomes. Invested consistently at 8% over 20 years, that gap becomes over $1,170,000. Simone does not have a lower income. She does not have lower intelligence. She does not have less opportunity. She has 12 spending habits that were never questioned. Claire has 12 spending decisions that were made deliberately. Wealth is not built in the moments that feel dramatic. It is built in the 12 ordinary, invisible, recurring decisions that most people never stop to evaluate. You do not need to change all 12 today. Pick one, just one. Because every one of these 12 things that you stop buying unconsciously and start buying intentionally or stop buying entirely is a vote for the financial life you are building. Simone and Claire started in almost the same place. The 12 decisions are what created the distance between them, and the 12 decisions are entirely within your control.